Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kelly from Kelly Lee Creates and I teach lettering and digital design tutorials. Today I have a tutorial for you using Silhouette Studio and I'm going to show you how to make this fun wavy text. This is very popular right now. You see it on a bunch of t-shirts. It's a very popular style to be using right now. You can do this all completely in Silhouette Studio and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I'm just going to open a new canvas right here, and the first thing we want to do is type out the text. We're going to type out good vibes only, so select your text tool right here and type out good vibes only, and I'm going to put each word on a different line here, and I'm going to type out each word separately. So good vibes only. Now I'm just going to select everything and I'm going to change the font to Keep on Truckin'. Select the font Keep on Truckin'. It is not included with Silhouette Studio, but it is a free font and it is very popular to use when creating retro style fonts. So I'm just going to size everything up till it fits the almost fits the canvas so we can see everything clearly, and then I'm going to align everything to the left right here. So align everything like that. And I am going to fill each word with a different color like we see here. So orange, peach, and like a darker orange right here. So I'm going to choose this light orange, that peachy color, and a dark orange, and I'm going to change the cut lines to transparent, just so we don't have those red lines around here while we're working. It's just, you don't have to do that, it's just a personal preference that I do. Okay, now I'm going to select everything and just increase the size a little bit more, like so. Okay, now for the fun part. So to warp this text, I'm going to warp each line separately. So all you do is click on the first word and go down here to right here. There's an arrow at the very bottom, and I didn't even know this existed until recently. If you click on that arrow, this is the warp tool right here. Now, I will say that I am using the Designer Edition, and this warp feature is only available in the Designer Edition and above. It is not available in the Basic Edition. So you need the Designer Edition to do this. If you have Designer Edition Plus or the Business Edition, you're going to have more warp tools available. I just have this one tool because I am using the Designer Edition. So again, if you have basic, this is not going to work, unfortunately. That being said, we're going to click on the warp tool, and up here you can see two options. You have warp selected shapes, and you also have some warp templates up here. I'm going to select the warp selected shapes because when you use that, you can adjust your text. You can fine tune it and adjust it exactly the way you want. Whereas if you go with these templates, you're kind of sort of locked into the templates. But I'm going to go with just this basic warp and hit warp selected shapes. And when I do that, you can see that there's like anchor points all in here. And all you do is click on one of And if you lose it like I did, all you have to do is click on the text again. So you're just going to click on these anchor points and drag, and you can see how your text moves and warps. And I don't like to warp it too much because I like my text to be legible, but I do want to give it a little bit of warp to get a little bit more of that retro vibe that is super popular right now. And you can also like squish the text in like that if you use these two handles right here. But I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to squish this one. So you can warp the outside with these red handles right here, but you can also warp like the inside of these letters if you click on these blue dots right here and move those around. So I'm just going to go ahead and warp this first word right here. And I kind of want it to go, you know, in a little curve. So I have mostly what I want here. I think I might bring this one down a little bit. And that looks good. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm just going to start with that. So then we're going to do this. I'm going to do the same thing for these next two words. So click on the word and then select this warp function right here and click warp selected shapes. And I'm just going to do the same thing for the next two words. Okay, so I think that I like the way that looks, and so I'm just going to finish off with the word only and do the same thing. Okay, so I am happy with the way that looks. And once you are happy with the way your text looks, I just wanted to show you one more thing that you can do that you have to do to make sure that this cuts out correctly. So if you were going to send this to a sublimation printer to be used for sublimation, you're good to go with the way it is right now. You would come over here to File and Print and send it to your sublimation printer. I don't have a sublimation printer, so that is not an option for me. So I'm going to cut this out using vinyl. So the last thing that you need to do to get this ready to cut onto vinyl is if you need to click on each word and come over here and hit Release Warp. And if you hover over that, it says convert the warp shapes into standard cut lines. So if you click on each word, we're just gonna convert these words, convert the warp to cut lines so they can cut. Now, when you do that, you see that each letter is now separate. And that's fine if you're just saving this in Silhouette Studio and using it as a studio file, that will work just fine. But if you want to save it as an SVG file for other people to use, like Cricut users, you're going to want to make these into compound paths. So they upload correctly into all design software. So all you need to do for that is to click on each letter and come up here to Object and Make Compound Path. And now you can see that the letters are all kind of glued together and not all separate. So I just make a compound path for each word separately so the colors stay the same. And once each word is its own compound path, if you come over here to the Send panel, you can see that everything is good to go to cut. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make wavy text. If you like this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. And if you want more tutorials like this, you can find them on my blog at kellyleecreates.com. I also have a course called Slay Your Silhouette. I will link that below if you want to take a look at that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.